another awesome episode of the Self-Help Us podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm still Sofia.
And today we're talking about Qi Gong, which is...
Priya just pointed to me like I have no idea what we just did for the week. Please explain. So as far as I can explain,
yes, as far as we
without
can tell.
getting a degree in Chinese medicine, Qi Gong is a series of exercises where you try to exercise your life force or your qi.
Right.
So it has a very specific sequence of exercises called the 8 brocades. They're usually named after animals, and there's usually variations on those names, but it's the same sort of 8 exercises. So we did that, and you're supposed to do 7 of each exercise. Does that make sense? So about 56 movements.
Right. And basically, it's just a routine that you can do. I did it like when I woke up in the morning, and it's basically just priming you for your day.
Yes. And it's very similar to Tai Chi. That's the more common version that people usually see. So if you've ever seen anybody perform Tai Chi in a park or something, those movements are very similar, except that you stay in one place rather than just moving around.
Right. And you know what? I've honestly always wanted to try Tai Chi. And Qi Gong is making me like want to try it even more because of my experience with it. But before we get into what we thought, I just wanted to mention that every time I say or type or text Qi Gong, like 50% of the time it's been Qi Dong because that's where my head is at right now. I'm just very much...
Oh, you want the dong.
I'm dong-minded right now.
Vitamin dong.
Vitamin dong. I need it. Just kidding. Please don't harass me. So that's my fun story. That's where I'm at in my life right now.
Yeah, very immature.
Hello.
Like thousands of years old practice, and you're bringing dong into it.
I mean, that I didn't do. My brain did that. I didn't do it.
Sure.
It's true.
You guys, Priya's on her period right now, just FYI.
Yes, that actually is like a good thing to let everyone know because I'm a little crazy. I'm a little delirious. Things are happening.
There should be a little asterisk next to each episode where Priya has her period.
Yeah.
And you can listen to like the Period Chronicles version of our podcast.
Oh my God.
You know how like the Star Wars movies, you can like watch them out of order in a certain order because like some nerds say that's the best order. Like you can listen to our podcast by Priya's period. The PP Chronicles.
The PP Chronicles. Oh my God. The PBP Chronicles.
What's PB? Oh, that's
my initials.
Okay.
Anyways,
I was gonna say that if like Priya, you really wanted to try Tai Chi, but you don't have a lot of space, Qigong is a great way to kind of go into that similar movement and mindset, but not needing a lot of space, or maybe you're self-conscious about going into a park and doing that or something.
No, that's exactly what's stopping me, is that like I see all these people like early in the mornings in the park doing it. I'm like, I want to like do it too, but I'm too nervous to like go up to them and ask or like interrupt their practice. And like, so I tried doing it online following like a YouTube video, but I just felt like very silly because I felt like I didn't have the right like foundation or like base understanding of what I'm actually trying to do.
Yeah, and you also have to have a lot of space. You kind of do Tai Chi in a circle or in a very long line, rather.
So how did you first hear about Qi Gong?
Qi Gong.
Every time I say it, I have to like pause and just make sure I'm using the right letter.
The right portion of your mouth.
Yes, exactly.
So I learned about Qi Gong from a Qi Gong class that was taught by a Chinese medicine doctor.
Ooh.
So she really dug into the foundations of it, and if a Qi Gong class is something that you have access to wherever you are, I really recommend it.
You did it in person or online?
In person.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I was led through all these exercises. I was led through like harnessing your energy, your life force. I was led through the proper form. And really, whatever video you can find online, it's fun just exploring how your body moves because it's also a meditation practice. So makes you aware of your body parts. Like as you're moving so slow, you can't help but notice different things about your body each time.
Yeah.
And we're going to link you to the video that we used for this practice.
Yeah, and it really helps you, like, focus on your breath and, like, clear your mind because you're so focused on, like, your movements and your physicality that, like, the nonstop train of thoughts in your head, like, totally slows down. At least that was my experience with it.
And this is also a good alternative for people who don't like meditation that's sitting still.
Yeah.
Because those thoughts, again, can race. So here you have, like, the movements to focus on.
Exactly. And one thing that I really noticed while I was, like, doing my practice every morning is that after I finished it, I felt, like, ready for my day almost. Like, I felt refreshed because I think it was just, like, a very nice way to go from, like, being in a sleep state or a rest state to being, like, awake and, like, having that blood flowing and, like, getting your mind sharp and ready. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I also felt the same way. I mean, you're essentially breathing for around 20 minutes, very deeply in and out, and you're synchronizing your body to it. I have to say the minus for me is because I'm a massage therapist and I'm constantly working my legs, there is a movement here that's like a bow and arrow type of movement. You kind of squat to the side and stretch out your chest and like you're pulling an arrow through a bow. And my quads need work. My quad strength needs work. Or just like, I just need a massage, basically.
Yeah. Well, I am not a massage therapist, but I can give it my best shot. You might have to go to the ER afterwards.
I like how you assumed I was talking to you in that moment.
I mean, I'm volunteering my services, is what I'm doing. Excuse me for being polite. Jeez. Someone is too good for a Priya massage. Wow.
Wow, she is really moody.
I am so moody today.
Can you talk about how you've synced your period with several women, including probably me?
So I was actually at dinner last night with a few girlfriends, and with the whole time we were all like, oh my god, it's Shark Week. Like, we're all on our period. Like, we're so bloated. We're so angry. We're so moody. And then we were like, wait a minute. When did you start? And it's like all within the past 3 days. And we were like, oh,
how did you know that you were the alpha? Like, you were the one that started it all?
Oh, I'm not sure that I am, but I like to think that I am.
Oh. So it's like a generalized matriarchy over there.
Exactly. It's just a bunch of us, and we are in it.
It's like an oligarchy matriarchy.
Yes. Man, look at that school showing. I love it. When Sophia thinks something's really funny, she likes to like bang on stuff with her
but
hands.
I can't
but we can't because we're recording.
I'm very educated. It's true.
It is true, and I can tell that by the way you pronounce certain words.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And how I use certain words.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I use 3 syllables instead of 2.
Yeah, which is the height.
The height of education.
Of sophistication as well. It is. It truly is. So when I was starting with Qi Gong, I say it slowly every time just to make sure I don't mess up. One of the things that I had to kind of learn about or explore on my own was this idea of life energy and Qi. And I know that a lot of practices, for example, the one that we've just done, plus like Tai Chi and also others in like various other cultures, focus on like harnessing and like building up that Qi. But what is that exactly? Like, what does it mean to you? Because I feel like it has a different meaning, a different feeling to different people.
As far as my teacher could explain it, she said it was a life force and it's built up in certain parts of your body.
So is it basically like...
It's basically you have to move it through your body. It can't be stuck in one place.
So it's not the soul.
It's not the soul.
It's not the idea of soul anyway.
No.
Is it like just...
So life force is just something everything generally has.
Right.
And to keep in good health as a human being, you have to move that throughout your whole body. And it's not just this practice. It's not just in a vacuum. You also have to eat a certain way. Mm-hmm. I'm not committed enough for that.
No, me
because
neither.
you also have to eat according to like how hot or cold you are, as far as I can remember. Mm-hmm. And apparently I'm hot, so I can't eat spicy foods. Yeah. And that's just not the life I want to live.
No, we are spicy food people.
We are spicy brown girls.
We are spicy brown girls. I have not heard.
That's the Indian version of the Spice Girls.
I have not heard a more accurate description of who I am as a person. I'm going to be putting that on all of my job applications, my MBA applications, everything.
Spicy brown girl.
I'm a spicy brown girl.
You should have
mix it up.
You should earn a PhD so you can be spicy brown girl PhD MD DDS
etc.
By the way, we're very aware that when we laugh, we kind of blow up your ears, and we're very, very sorry. And we try to, like, at least take turns laughing.
Yeah, we really do try to take turns laughing.
See, we did it one after the other.
We did.
Very polite.
Because we care about you and your eardrums, and we want you to keep listening to the podcast.
Thank you so much for being patient with our laugh sound issues.
And the episodes on which I have my period. Thank you so much. I feel like this episode has gotten so off track.
It's okay.
But I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a little breathing room.
Yeah.
Speaking of breathing room, I will use that opportunity to go back to Qi Gong.
Yes.
One thing that I didn't like as much, I guess, like how you said your thing with the quads. Mm-hmm. For me, I guess it's not so much that I didn't like it. It's just I think that I can achieve the same things that I did with other kinds of practices. For example, I usually do yoga in the mornings, and it helps me like wake up my body, wake up my mind, help me like focus on my breathing. And I found the same thing that yoga did for me, Qigong did for me, but it was more like mentally challenging, or it was more like annoying to keep up with the different movements and stuff. But I think that that's also probably because I do yoga every morning. So if they say, oh, cobra pose, I exactly know what that is, and I don't have to think about it every day.
So it's just the learning curve.
Yeah, I think you're right. But also yoga for me, it's just like I've just been doing it for like so long, like practicing for like years, ever since I was a kid, on and off. Obviously, I haven't been practicing for like 20 years. I'd be some kind of like genius, which I am not. I'm just a simple practitioner.
I'm a humble yogi practitioner.
I am a humble yogi. Where is my green juice? Just kidding. But I feel like if this is something that works for you, or if you're looking to achieve those kinds of feelings in the morning that will like help you get ready for your day and help you like put things in perspective, then this is a great option.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you didn't like about it?
I just didn't like that you have to dedicate a certain amount of time to it, because 20-ish, well, it took you how long, you said?
It's the video that we did is about 18 minutes.
For me, it took me a little longer because I kept having to like pause and like make sure I was doing it right and all that stuff, especially the first couple days. Well, let's be real, the first few days. But for me in the morning, some days I'm running late. Some days I can't do, a 30-minute yoga sequence. I can only do like a 6-minute wake up your body kind of thing. And that's the kind of flexibility that I really like that Qi Gong doesn't really afford you. But I mean, if it works in your routine and you have those 20 minutes to dig in, by all means, go for it. Did you feel the same way?
Do you feel like it helped you on your period, though?
No, I didn't. Also, you know what, guys? And also, Sophia? I was Googling Qi Gong, and there are so many wild claims out there.
Yes.
And I was really put off by that. I'm not going to lie. Like, it really turned me off, and I went in being super skeptical. But it's just like that same weird like bullshit that you read about, like random shit, like, oh, this really works, oh, this does this, and it's like making all these wild claims without any like factual basis, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, anything Qi seems to attract a lot of kind of fraudulent quackery.
Great word.
I remember the 5-minute Qi boost and how that claimed to cure anything from cancer to stress.
Which is just bullshit. Like, you can't make those kinds of claims. You can't, like, pull on people's hopes like that. You can't. It's just not ethical. It's just not right. I don't think that's.
Yeah, I feel
okay.
like, I don't know, my teacher would feel absolutely vehemently negative on those claims. But also, there's a real branch of medicine in Chinese medicine that really believes that.
Yeah.
So I don't know where people fall on that. And I know Chinese medicine relies less on empirical evidence than other types of medicine.
Yeah. But also, I do think that it comes down to your intention. Like, if you, for example, with the 5-minute Qi boost, if you go into writing this book or something with the intention that I want to get more people to follow me, I want my brand to be champions, I have to say these crazy things in order to get attention, and you don't necessarily believe them, then that's like unbelievably unethical and wrong and immoral. But if you genuinely believe things and there's anecdotal evidence and you can see that there might be a correlation.
I disagree, because even with anecdotal evidence, that could be anything. So I think you have a responsibility towards people when you're saying stuff like, I can cure cancer.
Oh, I think that is too far.
Yeah.
I think that what I was saying is more like, hey, this can help reduce inflammation, which may help other things.
Yeah.
Like things like that, or like this helps increase blood flow, which may lead to X, Y, and Z. But I don't think you can jump to making those huge ass claims.
Yeah, that's why I treat it as more of a meditation practice than anything that can cure or anything that can treat.
Yeah.
I just love it as meditation, and I love it as exercise because it kind of sneaks up on you. Like, you don't think it's that strenuous.
Right. And then all of a sudden your quads are shaking.
You're pulling a bow and arrow and your quads are shaking.
Yeah, which, that one was like, I am Diana, goddess of the hunt. Like, I felt so powerful.
And, like, the woman that did that video, her voice is so soothing. And it just feels like she would be one of the members of, like, that island in Wonder Woman.
Yes, the Amazons.
The Amazon.
She would be an Amazon.
Yeah.
Speaking of soothing voices, I was on this app called Sanity&amp, which I believe you also checked out.
Yes, I did.
And
we were going to do it for the podcast, but we didn't really like it, to be honest.
Yeah, we absolutely hated it, and we would have gutted it in like 3 minutes and then podcast over.
Exactly.
Right. But since we're talking about meditations and like soothing voices, I thought it'd be good to bring it up because, first of all, there are meditations on that app. However, the voice over, I guess, or the guiding voice that they use is highly irritating.
Well, there's several voices, right?
There's several voices, and they, well, to me at least, are highly irritating. They're like super perky and like, let's do it, and like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm here to meditate and be soothed. I don't need you to pull me out of my breathing exercises and meditation with like your bright, cheery vocals.
I feel like that's the tough love version of the meditative voice. Does that make sense? Like, because some people are like soothing, Enya.
Soothing, Enya.
Like Enya vibes. And this girl is more like California, like spin class.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I don't know that meditation for like meditative purposes needs that kind of energy. I just feel like the energy that it needs is more of like the soothing, guiding, warm.
I mean, maybe some people... Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, that's okay. So the other thing that I was going to say, like, if you're in like a spin class or if you're doing like meditative like exercise where you're trying to get in the zone, then that voice is unbelievably helpful. Like, I would want that voice and not fucking like someone droning on and being super soothing. But I just didn't like it for like my daily meditation practice.
Yeah. Do you remember which meditation was that exactly, so we can point people to it?
I played around on the app and I tried a bunch of different things. Because basically, like, when you go onto the app, there's lots of things happening. There's so many things happening. There's like 7-day thing. This is a 3-day thing. Get started here, and there's like 5 options. And
by the way, since we're doing like an impromptu review of this app, what I hated about it is like most of the content was behind a paywall.
Yeah.
There was like 2 or 3 things I tried, and then when I wanted to try more, it said it would need my payment, which I understand. Like, you got to make money somehow from your meditation app and, you know, get that buyout. But like, you're not giving people enough access to your content.
Yeah, exactly. And if the content was like amazing and easy to use and user friendly, I would have paid for it, because you know what? Like, I do need a good meditation app in my day-to-day life. And if I could have access to like great content and it showed up and it like performed well for me every time, I wouldn't mind paying for it. But it's like this app, it's like it doesn't even know what it is exactly.
Yeah.
There's like a forum, there's a chat, there's like these random articles.
There's workouts.
Yeah, and it's just like, what is this? Is this a lifestyle app? Because that's not how it brands itself. It brands itself as self-care for women. But at the end of the day, if you look at all the images on the app, they're all like adhering to like society's like standards of beauty and like pink and like all of this stuff that we consider to be like extremely, or not that we consider to be, or that society classifies as extremely feminine. And that's the only thing that you see in that app, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah, so relating this back to Qi Gong, would you prefer doing Qi Gong over doing this app?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like Qigong as a practice is open to everyone at whatever level. There's no expectations. There's nothing forced on you in any way. There's no like weird, like I said, forced social element to it. There is nothing. It's just you, a video in your room, and you get to focus on you. Whereas the Sanity and Self app, I feel, was like, look at me, look at this app, like it's amazing, check out these colors, it's so bright. And it wasn't there to like support you in your meditation journey or your health journey or your social journey, whatever the fuck journey you want, because there's millions of options. Rather, it was just there to be like, look how great I am.
Yeah, I feel like Qigong is like the simplest, most fuss-free, non-pretentious meditation you can have. And you can throw away the claims that some people claim about it, about curing cancer and such. But it's the most pretentious-free, one of the most pretentious-free meditations I've ever done.
Yeah, and exactly. It's like when you go online and you actually find the, like, good, in quote, articles that are talking about it and, like, the benefits, then you really see that they're just, like, open-handed, like come try this.
Yeah.
Like, you never know.
That's so sweet.
And I love that energy, and I feel like that's very important for health care and, like, self-care and meditation things, is approaching with, like, open hands and, like, no expectations or pressure.
Self-care is just anything that helps you survive in this world. So it's not, we talked about this in our very first episode.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not all facials and bath bombs. It's just anything, literally anything that helps you survive and take care of yourself. So it could be literally like cutting your toenails.
Yeah.
That's self-care.
Yeah, exactly. It could be making a pot of tea.
That's it. Doesn't have to be fancy.
Journaling, for example.
Qi Gong doesn't have to be fancy.
It doesn't have to be fancy. Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. Come and get it. So yeah, for me, I would highly recommend that you listeners at least give it a shot. I will admit that I was a little daunted by the length of the practice and like the movements at first, but don't let that stop you. Like I said, there's no pressure, there's no expectations. It's just you in a room moving around.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much. We love being with you every single week. It's the highlight of our week.
It's a highlight of my week too.
The highlight of my fucking life.
If you guys have any Qigong stories, if you've tried it, if you didn't like it, if you like it, let us know. And if you have any other self-help stories or self-help suggestions, mail us at selfhelpuspodcast@gmail.com.
We love to hear from you guys.
Try your best to live your best life.
Take care, guys.
Bye.